Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is your boy Keo Daiken. Today's review: PlayStation 5 controller compatibility with the CronusZen. So, if you guys all know my last video, obviously it wasn't a success because there wasn't a firmware update or anything supporting the PlayStation 5 controller, which we have here today. But as of this morning, there is a new beta update which will allow you to use a PlayStation 5 controller. Supposedly, it allows the DualSense full functionality for your Nintendo Switch, your Xbox One, your Xbox 360, and also your PlayStation 4. We're going to examine all that today in this video. So I figured I'd show you guys how to do a firmware update and actually get the new update. This one's a little different. It almost threw me off for a little bit, but I'm going to walk you guys through how to update your firmware for the CronusZen so you can start playing around with your PlayStation 5 controller. Now, please keep in mind, this is not a full compatibility release because I know a lot of people have the understanding that right now the CronusZen will work with the PlayStation 5, and that is not true because really nobody has the PlayStation 5 to make sure everything is configured. But eventually, hopefully, like I said in previous videos, 99% chance that it should work because it does have USB compatibility, but you can't really verify or justify anything because nobody has a hardware to test it. But as of right now, the controller will work, so we're going to get right into this review. Let's get to it. All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure you head on over to the official CronusZen website, and you're going to download the new firmware updater. If you guys already have it, it already has it there. And for your CronusZen, in order to put it into pairing mode into flash mode so you can update the firmware, make sure you hold in that little blue dot on the bottom of the unit. That'll put this device in the firmware update. Now, Zen Studios hasn't been updated as of yet. So what we're going to do is this will automatically pull up the latest firmware update. And the update you guys are going to be looking for is 2.0.09, not 08. So if you guys are just following this tutorial along, it says use the latest version available. That is not what you want to do. You want to click on this button here, and you want to go down this little selection menu that you can manually select the firmware update you want to select. And this is the one we want to select, 2.0.9 beta 12. We're going to hit continue, and we're going to begin update. So as soon as this update is done, I should be able to use my PlayStation 5 on my Xbox One. I'm going to test it around, for a few minutes with either Gears of War, and then also some other games I have like Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff like that, which are some of my favorite. So let's go ahead and close this out, and let's move on over to our console now, and let's see what happens. All right, so now I have my CronusZen plugged in, so you guys can see there. There's my CronusZen. I only have a few scripts on here. I really don't use it for that. I told you guys I use it for a number of other things, but right now I do have a few Call of Duty scripts loaded on here as well, but we'll examine that in another video. Right now we'll just see if it works with the Xbox One. So I do have the PlayStation 5 controller here. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in because according to the Zen Studio, it does not work if you use Bluetooth. So we're just going to hardwire it in directly. And as you can see, I'm already getting lights on it. And I do have this plugged in already. As you guys can see, it's already working. So as of my last video, when I plugged in the PlayStation 5 controller, the joypad wouldn't show up. It would only show up if I plugged it in over Bluetooth on there. So let's go ahead and get this on and let's see what happens. And before I actually jump over to the Xbox, I can confirm that the Zen program is recognizing the PlayStation 5 controller. I have this set up to a PlayStation 4. So you can see the buttons are recognizing if I just hold in on the D-pad, left and right, I'm pressing the X, Y, and the O, X, or the cross, the square, and the triangle buttons. You guys can see those corresponding here. There's the PlayStation button being pressed, and The PS4 Touch. So you guys can see down there at the bottom left of your screen. In fact, let me move this over so you guys can see it. All right. So as you can see, number 27, the PlayStation button is working. This is the PS4 Touch. It is working with the controller. And as you can see there on the right side of the screen, these are the DualSense or the accelerometer actions. So that is corresponding directly on the controller. So I'm just moving my finger along the DualSense controller, and you can see that it is corresponding there in option number 28, 29, 30, and I believe 30, 32, and 33 as well. So all those functions are working now on the PlayStation 5 through the CronusZen. So let's go ahead and get this booted up and with the with the Xbox One, and let's see what we can get going for you guys. Now directly, I'm not able to turn my Xbox One on or off with the controller. Let me see if there's something I have to do to go in here to configure it. So I did turn it on with my Elite controller. So let's go ahead and switch over to that right now. All right, guys, so we're back. We have our Xbox One Elite controller plugged into programming port number 1 here on the Zen. And then, of course, we have the PlayStation 5 controller plugged into programming port or USB port number 2 on the front of the CronusZen. And as you can see, it is working. I'm navigating back and forth, going up and down, left and right. So let's play a couple of games here just to see how the controller responds with everything else. And this will be my first time actually using the controller on a newer gen consoles. You guys saw the last video. We played, what was that we played? We played a few retro games with the controller just to kind of see what was going on. So let's take a look and see what happens. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty good test because this is a very rigorous game. It requires a lot of button pressing and timing and action. So this is probably the second time I've used the CronusZen with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. One of my favorite games on here. So let's see how the PlayStation 5 controller handles. I am playing a ranked game right now, so hopefully it doesn't mess me up. It does feel a little different from the Elite. Hope I don't hit this pad here in the middle. Okay, that doesn't do anything, so I don't have to worry about that. And the cool thing about it is when you're using the Zen Studio program, it automatically registers all of your button configuration from the original controller. So it's already set up for me. So my my cross was already A and my square button was already X. So that definitely helps there. And supposedly it's supposed to activate the rumble feature and everything in here too. So can't remember if this game really uses it. Okay. It feels weird. I'm not going to say it feels bad. I mean, I could tell that. He got me. This thing is real sensitive, though. I can tell you that. It is throwing my timing off a little bit. How in the world did he catch me in midair? That's the one thing about this game. Wow. It works. It's just really different. I mean, from what I'm used to. I'm just used to my Elite controller, my D-pad just being really tight. Well, you know what? It's also in a different place too. All right, I won. Woo, man. So yeah, I forgot the D-pad on the Elite controller is in a different place. So it just takes a little bit of getting used to for me. But other than that, it feels really great. No complaints here. So thank you guys again. Make sure you guys pick up a CronusZen. They're the same company that produces the Chronos Max. Obviously, I use these for arcade mods, and you can use these for Call of Duty. Most of the guys use this for a lot of aim assist for like games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, and stuff like that. But go ahead and pick it up. But yeah, here we have it, the PlayStation 5 controller being used on the Xbox One. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing, share the video. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. But setup was really straightforward. All you do is plug your Elite controller into the programming port of port 1, and then the PlayStation 5 will read all the settings. Everything's already set up for you. Hope you guys have a good day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.